Okay, I believe my mic is on. Hopefully you're hearing me. Good, it's not the morning. I was about to say good morning because it was my intention to begin live streaming earlier this morning, but I'm gonna have to wash my glasses. Um, I kind of the day got away from me. It is I don't know. I'm in East Coast of the United States time zone. It is approximately 12:31 p.m. I will be here probably for anywhere between 1 to 3 hours. I'm hoping for 1.5 to 2. Um, and I'm seeing some messages in the chat come through. Hopefully that means you're all hearing me and seeing me okay. So I kind of have this weird goal this week, which I really shouldn't say because I have a feeling it's not going to happen, but I kind of want to stream every day this week. I just want to see how that feels. Even if it was just like an hour each day. So, and this, out of all the weeks that could be potentially possible for me to do this, this is one of the few. I need to check my sound settings here. So give me a second. The one thing about having that nice new animation that times down as oh, and I'm still showing you this full. I did realize I didn't switch over to here. Hello. This is supposed to be my opening screen here. Where is the NVIDIA broadcast? Okay, I'm turning off the only be echo removal, which this should be a little bit better quality. And if all goes according to plan, this train whistle will be coming through loud and clear into your ear holes. Ears would be the appropriate way to say that. And Sable Rafe is in the chat again. Hello, Sable Rafe. And hello to Unicorn Coder and Cthulhu Pelican. I love your name, Cthulhu Pelican. I want to know the meaning behind it. And Rozlock1. All right. So I don't know where to begin. And Saint Place thing is here. Ding. I don't have a ding. I don't have a bell. I hope you're doing well. And Evil Genius Lab is here. Evil Genius Lab. Something evil arrived in the mail for me yesterday. I don't think I opened it up yet, but I have it in. It just came yesterday, and it is sitting over there. I could show it to the camera if that's of interest. Staff Sable Raff. See, Sable Raff. Okay, Sable Raff. Brief Bear, first time you caught a stream. Welcome! Live unboxing. Yeah, okay, so we could do that. Let me just show it right now. I'm going to go grab it. Oh, wait, where did I bring that bag from? Okay, of things. Oh, wait. Oh, no! It's not in the bag. It's not in the bag. I was bringing things over from the house, and I'll have to go. I'll go grab it. I don't have it. We'll do it. Since I'm going to stream every day this week, we'll do it tomorrow. Okay, so let's see here. I'm trying to figure out what to do. And I'm looking at the chat. All right, so let me at least set the stage for what is the project that I am actively working on. And the project that I am actively working on is dun, 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 this. This is the code repository. Don't be overwhelmed by all of these folders. There's actually only this one code file, which is everything I wrote in my previous live stream is all inside this one file with 192 lines of code. Beautifully written, impeccable, lovely, wonderful code. And the reason why, which I will get to in a minute, there are all of these different folders is people have been submitting new images for me, which I will show you. So what does this code do? You might be asking. Great question. Thanks for asking. This is the wrong folder. Oh, you know what? This is the correct folder, and you can't see this. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of sorts. Um, what is going on here? That's Discord with Simon's messages that I need to look at. But let me minimize this right now because that was not my intention to get to that this second. Okay, so I'm on the desktop. Let's clone this repo so we have exactly the version that is on the repo right now. We're going to wander into that folder. And oh, by the way, can I just show you something funny? It's kind of unrelated, but oh, it's not open. Let's see if I can get it open. There it is. So let me zoom in here. So I used to always use the debug console for the Discord app because you can do various things in there. Hide certain, especially when I'm streaming, I like to hide any direct messages. I don't know why the streamer settings for Discord doesn't hide your private messages. You'd think that you would want that. But anyway, it got disabled in a recent update of Discord, but I figured out that if you put this in the settings file, dangerous underscore enable underscore devtools underscore only underscore enable underscore if underscore you underscore no underscore what underscore you're doing. If you set that to true, dangerous enable devtools only enable if you know what you're doing. And I have to say, I kind of don't know what I'm doing, but I'm living dangerously. Set that to true. So Center Shock is asking a question after my own heart, which is, did you make videos on the UUR bot? No, but that's coming. That's this week. Anyway, so now I can go back into Discord, which is not open, and open this. So if you didn't know that, but you really should be careful because the reason why they disabled that is, somebody could easily scam you, particularly if you didn't sort of understand how these parts of the Discord application work, and you were to, say like, oh, I'm going to send you it's like 1,000 in Bitcoin. If you just paste this script into your Discord, just do Shift Command I. Don't listen to people trying to do that. The commitment, yes. I once I started reading the underscores, I had to keep going with that. There was no way I was going to stop reading the underscores. Staff, Sable Raff. Okay. Sable Raff, everyone should check out the Creative Coding Weekly News. I might be getting the name of that incorrect. And Sable Raff's Twitch channel as well. Okay. Friend of the stream. I really like Twitch. I did on this whole survey to find out whether people, I know I'm like, all I do is talk about this. Do you prefer I stream on YouTube and Twitch? And by the way, it was like 80% YouTube, but here I am on Twitch. You're welcome. 20% of my viewing audience. Okay. Now, all right. So this was the code. So this is the code. Let's just run it. This is the project I'm working on. Let's refresh this page. Oh, I forgot that I had changed it. So this was one of the tile patterns submitted by LowIC, who I hope, by the way, that you were able, you're probably not watching right now, LowIC, and I know I'm also getting your name incorrect, but I wonder if you were able to get your Discord account reactivated. I know it was hacked and then banned, but this is lovely. So this is the wave function collapse algorithm. And what it's doing is, let me just go here into the desktop here. And let me just briefly, I think it'll be easier to follow very briefly if oh, that's interesting. This must not, oh, this is the wrong one. Okay, sorry, everyone. I'm getting there. I am going to pull up the code, and I am going to, oh, right, path. I'm going to change this just to tiles. Okay, so this is the sort of plain tiles that I created for the particular video demonstration that I'm making. So right now my process is long, many hours of streaming on Twitch, edited down into a coding challenge video to be posted on YouTube. Also sometimes streaming on YouTube. And so this is what I made last time. And what's going on here, you might ask? Well, good thing I have this whiteboard still from last time. And let me fix the camera here. Maybe I just move this over. There we go. Hi, I'm over here now. Lighting is set. Okay. This doesn't really help because I had erased a bunch of things. I don't know what I'm trying to explain this. Let's go back over here. So there are 4 tiles. A blank tile. Oh, no, wait, that's another version of it with railroad tracks. It's kind of awesome. A blank tile. A tile that looks like a T with the shorter line pointing down. A left, pointing to the left, pointing to the right, pointing up. And there are certain tiles that are allowed to be adjacent to each other. So you could imagine, if I go over here into this view, that it would be okay to put the blank tile above the down tile because those 2 edges match up. And it would be okay, like, to put this left tile below a down tile because that line coming down can connect to this one. All of these actually work vertically arranged. But you could understand why this left tile I could not place to the left of down because it doesn't have an edge pointing to the right there. I know my hand's getting cut off to connect. So essentially, what this algorithm is doing is it's taking a pre-made set of tiles, then it has a data structure in the code, which is here, which says basically that like the blank tile is allowed to connect to these tiles up to the right, down and to the left. The right tile can connect to these tiles up, down, up to the right, down and to the left. So it's a whole sort of nested array of tile adjacencies. And then it starts with a blank grid and starts to fill them in. It collapses, it picks one randomly. That's the act of collapsing that tile, selecting a particular image, and then looking at what can go around it. So that's where I've left off. Let's see. Does anybody have any questions you want to ask about that before I start to figure out what I'm going to attempt to do next? Also, why not? Let's try some of these other tiles. I don't remember who submitted which, but these are railroad tracks, so let's try these. So if I switch to tiles 1, we're going to get this now. Right. This was Fishy22 on Discord, or Kfon on Twitch, if Kfon is there. Hi, Bruno. So you can see here the sort of pattern that emerges. And just to be certain here, at one point I had random seed and setup. Yeah, it's still there. So let's take that out. So it's good, and now we'll get a different pattern. And one of the things that can happen is I could, with this tiling pattern, yeah, and here it happened. Basically, there's a spot where there is no tile that can fit there. And we could try to find it, or I could debug to figure it out. So this is the question. All right, let me use the whiteboard to help organize my thoughts. And I'm going to go for the wide shot here. And unfortunately, let's see here. I'm just going to make a list over here. All right. So, all right. So here are the things. I could improve the tiled model, which would involve backtracking. So basically, do I want to implement backtracking where if it gets stuck at a certain point, it will go back and try a different way? So that's one question mark. The other thing which Simon had pointed out to me, and I was reading over the algorithm description, and it is included in there, is some type of, I'm going to call this recursive entropy reduction. So entropy, which is a sort of key term in this algorithm, refers to the amount of possible tiles that could go in a given spot. So I'm calling a spot on the grid a cell, and there are 5 possible tiles. So the entropy could be anywhere between 1 and 5. If it's 1, there's only 1 left. It could be 0, I guess, if that's a proper way to, if I could still be using the term entropy in a logical way here. But and what I didn't do is if a particular tile, like this tile, is selected to be this like one that points to the left. And maybe if I'm over here on the whiteboard, I should make it bigger for you all, because it's kind of hard to see. So, and I need to check the focus also. One thing that was really unfortunate, I was watching back the recording of last stream. I think it'll be fine, but there are parts of it where the whiteboard went out of focus because the camera went off. So you should all freely if anything bad happens with the sound or like something slightly out of focus, please let me know. That's one of the reasons why I like live streaming these things, because I can fix those. There's nobody, you're the only people watching. I'm not really watching myself. Although I do see myself in a little monitor right there. There you there. Hi Dan. How are you? You got something? You need a little work there, and that beard looks a little messy. A little trim maybe. Yeah. Okay. Good. Thanks. What was I talking about? Aha. So if this here, like now this tile no longer has 5. If this one gets left, this tile then can't be blank. It can be an up tile, it can be a right tile, or it can be a down tile. It can't be another left tile. So this has 3 possibilities. But if this has 3 possibilities, it's also going to affect what possible tiles could go in its neighbors. So I should probably, it's like sort of like rippling out. Now I think it kind of works without doing that, because I'm doing, every frame of animation is a pass over the grid. So if this gets collapsed or if this gets fewer, it'll get it the next time. So I sort of feel like I don't want to do that, but I at least need to address it in the video. So these are some things I could do. And then of course, just more, I don't know that it's worth including that in the video. This last thing I could do after the fact, like I could just make a lot more versions of tiles and show them in the video without kind of implementing the code live. But more visual examples. And then 2 is move on to the overlapping model, which I'm going to now address briefly by looking at this post on the processing forum. So one option, basically I'm trying to decide, do I just kind of say, talk through some of these improvements and leave them as an exercise to the viewer or a future video that I do, but the actual video that I release, that is the coding challenge video, just has the sort of version that doesn't do the recursive entropy reduction and doesn't have backtracking. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards, but I'd like to hear your feedback. And just go on, and today I'm going to do the overlapping model. Or should I really work to getting a much more complete tiled model that people could really use and go through the code for how I would do backtracking and this entropy reduction? So I'm curious to hear your feedback. I'm going to come back over here and take a peek at the chat. Okay, I'm seeing that. Yeah. Okay. Simon says, I think the way most implementations do backtracking is they just restart if they run into a contradiction. So that's easy. So I definitely feel like, my goal with these videos is to not make, the reason why I don't want to do the backtracking is I want this to be a simple example that people can play with. And it's kind of good enough for a lot of applications to just not bother with the backtracking and just restart it or whatever. And that's something that somebody could do on their own if they were really invested in the algorithm themselves. I could do it later and like have an extra example that has the backtracking, but it doesn't need to be in the video, right? The point of the video is to have something that people can like, that beginners can understand what the algorithm does, and like understand the code and like make their own version of it. And you don't like, yes, if you want to include this in your like game that you're making, that you're going to release, and you've got a production team and designers, like, yeah, you're going to probably want to put some backtracking in there. So I'm kind of talking myself into not having the backtracking. Right, Bruno is saying exactly how I feel, which is, and what does wonderful do? Does it just it makes a clip? That's interesting. Boring udon vote nay. Okay. Yeah, I'm curious if there the one. Yeah, I don't see. I'm just looking to see if there is a delay. I can't see it. There's definitely no delay in my monitor in OBS. Okay. Right. So the other thing though is the recursive entropy reduction. I do feel like, is there something incorrect? Like, if that's just something that's going to optimize the algorithm, make it sort of run faster in a way because it can do more collapsing in one frame, I don't care so much about that. But if that's like a really meaningfully important part of the algorithm, so let me just look here and try to read a bit here and see. That's the one the backtracking I feel good about not putting in there now. The question is, am I doing something really incorrect? Let's look at where that algorithm is currently. So currently, this is the pass. It creates an empty array. So the grid is a big array that has a bunch of objects in it. And the objects, I'm looking for where I create an empty object. Sorry. Where did I create the grid? Yes. So the grid is an array, that just has the options of tiles that could be in that spot and whether or not it's been collapsed. And so if it doesn't have any neighbors that have been collapsed, then, or that have, if all of its neighbors have all of the options, then it will have all of the options. And what I do in the algorithm is I go through, and for every spot, if it's collapsed, like I don't need to do anything more with it. Otherwise, I assume it has all the options, and I go through and look at the neighbors and figure out what's valid, what are valid options based on above, to the right, down, and to the left. And at the end, I have the updated options and it not being collapsed. I could immediately collapse it if there's only one left. That would be right. So that's one thing I could add. That would be an easy thing to add. The question is, once I have done this spot, do I need to, and let's look at this post that I want to look at, which is this one. It says it phrases it, there's a really elegant explanation. And again, this is for the overlapping model, but I think it's here under 6. Propagation. Oh, wait, hold on. Where did I find that? Maybe it's written above. I just quoted it to. Okay, hold on. Sorry for my scrolling up and down into infinity here. I'm going to find this quote, updating entrophies. Yeah, here it is. This process doesn't stop to the 4 direct neighbors of the collapsed cell and has to be extended recursively to the neighbors of the neighbors and so on until all constraints are propagated. So I feel like maybe this is kind of important. Like what I want to say, and I haven't looked at the chat yet. Yeah, and Simon is saying I shouldn't assume all the options. I should assume the options that I had narrowed down previously. That is actually a really good point. And thank you, Sly Sam Squanch, for subscribing. So here's the question. I understand why this is important. What I would like to posit to you, the viewing audience right now, and I'm not expecting you to have expertise in this algorithm, that's probably one of the reasons why you're watching, is what if I didn't do this? Like, I'm doing this every time through draw. Sure, it's not going to be as accurate, but the problem is, could I be putting something, all right, let me say my thought, and then I'll get back to why I think this is incorrect, why my thought is incorrect. But if I don't do the neighbors of the neighbors recursively, I'm going to come back and do it all again. I'm just going to pick one cell to collapse somewhere. And, then I'm going to come back and do it again. It's going to pick up those changes because now those cells have fewer options. It works. It certainly works without doing that recursive checking, but it's not maybe as true to the sort of inherent algorithm and idea. I'm really thinking about this. Bruno says I have no idea. So Simon says for the specific tile set you have, I think it will not make a difference to the result at all, but in general, it does make a big difference. And hello to American 2050. Will I still be doing this in 2050? That's probably not. I mean, maybe I will. Maybe my brain will be in a jar by then and it will just be live streaming 24 hours a day. The other thing that I could do here, just give me a second, is let me just look at, I just have to log into here. So by the way, if you are curious, this is, I'm just going to bring this up now. I think it's okay to show this page. I doubt if you go, I doubt if you go to this algorithm, maybe it is like a publicly viewable page, but be curious to know. But this is it's not fully edited. As you can see, it's currently 1 hour and 20 minutes. So my live stream was 4 hours. It's currently 1 hour and 20 minutes, but I think there's probably at least a half an hour to be edited out of this. And I'm just going to curious to see like what's kind of at the end. Hello and welcome to today's coding challenge, wave function collapse. This was and then let's go here, just sort of see. This is completely unedited at this point. I'm going to console log this. There are only a couple of options. I agree with Simon. Run the simulation for eternity and store a list of all the seeds that don't fail. Then only use seeds that work. Done. Yes. I don't want to think about how old I'm going to be in 2050. That's a little bit traumatizing. Oh yeah, I'm not doing this in 2050. I'll be lucky to be alive in 2050, frankly. Somebody will find this. Somebody find this clip. Are you watching this in 2050 right now? I don't know. Say it. Light a candle for me, please. I wrote a simple version. I did have to check the neighbors once. One level of recursion, says Michael Kemps. So if you're only doing one level of recursion, why not do more? All right, let's think about this. I kind of don't feel like I have it in me right now to do the overlapping model, frankly. So I feel like improving this slightly and making right now, one thing I'm kind of clear on is I really didn't want to make this 2 videos, but I think it makes sense to make, especially the really there. It's not even really a like I didn't like I finished something here that's usable. There's part wave function collapse colon tiling and wave function collapse colon overlapping. So those can be 2 separate videos, and the second one can depend on the first one. So I feel good about that. Part of me wants to just finish the tiling video, release it, get feedback on it before I even attempt the overlapping model. That would kind of make sense. I think if you don't propagate the updates, the entropy won't be updated for all affected cells. And I think when it comes to picking a cell with the lowest entropy, you won't necessarily. That's what I'm thinking, says Way AI. That was a really nice, yeah. And it's one main video and one extra video, yeah. So so I feel good about this being 2 videos because this is going to be an hour. This video, even just the tiling one, is probably going to be 45 minutes to an hour. So I think it would make sense for me to do the recursion. I kind of just don't even understand how to do that. And it might be nice for me to try to actually come up with an example. And maybe those of you watching can help me with this. What if, like, what if we tried to build out like one of these? The other thing is, oh, look at this. I don't know why I didn't think of list all possible adjacent tiles and practical symmetry system for tiles to shorten the enumeration. Like the thing is, like, what if I did something that dealt with the rotation? Oof. The rotation and try to build a PCB. Oh, you're the Mr. American Mike, American 2050. Thank you for those tiling models. So let's take a look at one of them. They're cool. I can't remember which ones. So yeah, a bunch of these were submitted by KFON and American 2050. I think this one is, yeah, Mr. American Mike. So let's look at the pipes, for example. See what that one looks like. Where's that? This one's kind of cool. Very similar to the original, but just with nicer colors and design. You need a simpler data structure with that many tiles. So, all right. So now things are coalescing for me a little bit. Like backtracking, ironically, backtracking is the one thing I feel like I know how to do. So like I could implement it because it's come up in so many things that I've done before. But I feel like it's the least meaningful for me to include it in the sort of simplest version of the video that I want to make. I also sort of slightly regret starting. I feel like these tiles are kind of confusing to look at, and I could have just done something that's simpler. That's just like, I've seen the examples that are like land, sky, water, and I could allow certain, like land can never be above sky or to the right or the left. Well, I don't know. Like there'd be some set of rules there that I could figure out with land, sky, and water. But I already did it. I think I'm not going to go back and redo it. I just saying that. So I think I want to add this recursion, and a way of doing that might be to sort of refactor out the sort of checking what's valid. But before I even do that, would it make sense for me to have a example with more tiles and actually do the thing where the tiles themselves have an index on their side? So it's just matching two. In other words, what I mean is, where's my eraser here? What if I were to redo this particular example that looks like this? Right? Essentially, it's just two tiles, and I'm going to use A and B, even though I could use zeros and ones. Right? These sides are all A. This side is A. These sides are B. So the tiles can be placed at any rotation, but B's have to match up with B's, etc. That would lead me to being able to do something with more tiles more easily, and then implement the recursion. So I've been looking at the chat. What do we think about that? I started by reducing the tiles around the current tile, but I'm reading what Michael Kemp's comments. But if they already had collapsed neighbors, I take that into account. Have you looked into the concept of prototypes for wave function collapse? I have not. Tell me more. Yeah. Oof. All right, let's take a look at this. So it's kind of redoing this quite a bit. So what if I were to essentially get this down to two tiles? The thing is, if I'm doing it that way, would I not be just enumerating all of this? Oh, you're not seeing. Sorry, wrong screen. So as a thought exercise, let me think about redoing this one with just having two tiles. So if I start with two tiles, I'll do this on the whiteboard when I'm explaining it. Right now, I should get an overhead camera. I mean, I have one. My overhead camera is this one that's showing the wide shot. Hello. I guess I could come up closer. Can you see what I'm drawing here? Kind of. Right? If this is one tile, and this is another tile, and this is 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Now, what this turns into is 4 rotations of each tile. So I can automate this. This would be easy. Nothing's easy, but this is the thing I know how to do, which is automate the process of taking this single tile and rotating it 4 times. Then I would enumerate, and it's silly. There's obviously a lot of redundancy if I take this one and rotate it 4 times because they're all the same. But I would just sort of do that anyway because who cares? Just computer memory. Ken is, oh yeah. Right. American 250 is giving me really good feedback, which is didn't understand what the rules objects represent. So hopefully watching the video would help once I like make the video. But yeah, I agree that the code isn't super readable. Ken writes, I think starting with 2 tiles is a good idea, but use code to explode it into all the possible rotations. But you need to allow your data structure to drive the adjacency rules so you don't have to hard code. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So what I'm thinking is, what if I do just sort of like redo this and enumerate all of the rotations and adjacency rules based on an initial map of what can go next to what of just these 2. Okay. I don't know if people have seen a really amazing example of this is, and Sable Raff sent this to me originally, and I'm already forgetting. Oh, by the way, this is what you were telling me to look at, the Martin Donald video.
Sudoku is a solitaire game played on a 9x9 grid.
Hold on. And then, wait, no. Wave function. Pre-computed adjacencies for each tile, I think. Okay. Wave function, collapse demo, Unity. I don't want the video. Who made this thing that I was looking at? This is not what I was looking for. Where's the one that I'm looking for? Sable Raff. You know what I'm talking about. The one with the really nice demo. I'll just have to find it here. I think it was linked on here. I'm forgetting the person's name. Everything about it I'm forgetting. Yes, Stahlberg. This is it. I think. Yes, Oscar Stahlberg's things, but I'm having trouble finding it. Jeez, so much good stuff. Where's the demo that I'm looking for? How come I can't find it?
All right. Hello, everyone. Nice to be here. Here's how to put it together.
Here's Oscar's. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. This one. Where's this? Oh, you're not seeing it. Ah, I'm in the wrong view. This is what I'm looking for. I'm the worst. All right, I think you're sending me these as direct messages over here. Oscar Stallberg game wave, yeah. Oscar Stallberg.com. There it is. Game wave wave.html. Okay. Here it is. We just get this back to here. Okay. Yeah, so this is a really amazing demonstration, and basically it's matching the sides based on color. I'm trying to think. Yeah, so K-Font, that's exactly what I'm thinking. So in terms of my thought experiment, if I started with just these two tiles, and I kind of want to use all right, well, and basically, let me just think this through for a second. Right? Oh, no. But see, I don't, got it. Yeah, I knew I wanted, basically, I want it to be this. And then, so this would be the start of basically, these are the two tiles I'm loading and what their sort of connections are. And obviously we could have more than just two connections. Then I would do rotations. So I would rotate the image, and then just, if I'm rotating the image, if I'm rotating clockwise, this number would come, oh yeah, this works. So I think this is what I should do. Having tiles as classes or objects, yeah. In Oscar's example, uses 3 colors, left, middle, right, on each edge. Yes, you're right. So it's not just, no, this is obviously more sophisticated, because if I look here, right, there's a middle color, a bottom color, and a top color, which are all, or these two are the same maybe. Yeah, that's a very important point. So I don't need to get that sophisticated. But yeah, I think I would like to redo. I definitely. Does this go in the? I mean, I'm interested in this. I would like to implement it. It's already probably a 45-minute video. It is worth it though. But I'm also kind of like, well, why didn't I just start this way? Ugh. Yeah, and I do like the idea of having a class. So like, for example, if I did a tile.js, let's think about this for a second. Yeah, okay. So what if it would have, what would it have in it? It would have so it would get an image. I can't spell adjacencies. Adjacencies. How do you, that can't be right. Adjacent. So adjacencies, yeah. There we go. Would have the adjacencies. And then I can obviously create one of these manually and then rotate it 3 times to make 3 more. Hi, Big Zinc. It is rotatable variable for the blank tile, so it doesn't need to be rotation. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Keep them as individuals over the same. American 2050, I don't understand that comment. Vanawi, thank you for subscribing. Right, so I could just write a function that could generate tiles with rotations. You don't always have to rotate it if you don't want to, I think is what you're saying. All right. I hate having these in multiple parts. I really wanted to get away from multiple parts. So I think I want to finish the tiling version. I'm fine with having the overlapping be a second video, but the whole thing, I'm just building this whole new website, and I think it's better just have like chapter breaks in the video, but maybe I'm wrong about that. I also shouldn't worry about it too much. I just want to make the content and let people watch it or not watch it. Right. Yeah, so American 2050, that is a very good point. That is beyond the scope of what I feel like I want to worry about for the implementation that I'm doing, but you're absolutely right. And I think that would just be a more sophisticated way of rotating the images rather than just like turning the actual pixels, rotating the pixels. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. The good news is I'm so far from having this video ready to be released that I don't have to decide whether it's one video. Right now, overlapping that's for another time. Overlapping is for another time. What I want to do right now is improve the tiled mod. And the thing that I'm going to improve is, one, I'm going to create a tile class, because maybe that'll help make the code more readable. And I'm also going to think about the tiles as having sort of more. I'm trying to think of how to say this. I'm going to think about the adjacencies. There we go. As being indexed. So the tile doesn't keep track of a list of possible tiles that could go to the right. It just keeps track of what is the connection there, and anything that can plug into that connection can go to the right. Although ultimately, do I want to build the rule table based off, and this is just how I get started? I don't know yet, but I can figure that out as I'm going. Got a little bit cold in here. Let's turn the heat on for a minute. All right, let me get myself ready. I'm going to turn the heat on for a minute. Close this door. Letting all the... Just warm it up in this room a little bit. The good thing about not having the heat on is... we go to the wide shot. I think I'm going to erase the whiteboard. I don't think there's anything I want on the whiteboard from before. So let's... I mean, the other thing I could do is I could go back and find a part of the video and go in a different direction. Technically, I could do that. Why didn't this heater come on? Oh, there it is. You're going to hear a fan sound probably in the back, right? I could go back and look at the current edit and just find a different spot to start from. But I think there's so much there. I mean, that's the question. I never know. I mean, I feel like this is my process. Anybody who wants to experience the full process can always watch all of the stream archives. Oh, this was, I'm kind of going to keep that list for a second. Let's see if I can. I should just erase that. I don't know why I'm not bothering to. None of these erasers actually work. All right. I can't wait to get to something where I just sort of like know what I'm doing, like some Twitter bot tutorials. And I could just, or I got to redo, I'm planning to redo a lot of the intro to P5 videos. Those won't need like me spending an hour trying to figure out if I can actually like do what I say I'm going to do. Okay. All right. Okay, whiteboard is clean. Oh, that's what's happening. It like slides as I am cleaning it. By the way, I would like to just get a whiteboard that I can mount to this wall. This is like back here. I don't know if you can see. This wall here is cinder block, concrete. So I don't know what I could get to mount to that. Maybe somebody has some tips for me. But I hate this rolling whiteboard. I also just need to get some sandbags to lock it in place better. These wheels, the wheels have locks on them. I don't know. It's a little bit better now. Whoops. Okay. All right, let's see what's going on in the chat. Okay, so what time is it? 1:30. Have I been streaming for an hour already? And I've done like basically nothing. And there's too many people watching for me to have done nothing. All right, let's do this, everybody. So I'm going to take this off. Let's make sure this is I'm not going to look at that right now. Oh, this is 14 minutes. So this is the prototypes thing. Do I dare?
description. Here, each socket name, because we know that regardless of orientation, a symmetrical socket will always fit with itself, whereas asymmetrical sockets will only ever be valid when placed next to a mirrored version of themselves. We do this by mirroring the vertex positions of each socket and checking if they're still identical. If they are, then we label the socket as symmetrical, and if they're not, we store the flipped and unflipped versions as two different sockets and mark one of them with an F. For the top and bottom boundaries, we have to do something special as well, storing 4 versions of each socket, labeling them with a rotation index 0, 1, 2, or 3. Vertical sockets will then be considered valid neighbors if they have the same socket name and rotation index. As we analyze more modules, we'll find that we've already come across some of these sockets, and instead of storing...
Well, this is 3D.
We can instead just apply the matching socket name and possible rotate for other prototypes.
Oh my God! Wow!
One final thing to note is
that
look
at
that!
that!
Essential parts.
Wow!
First, another round of propagation over others. But hopefully, after watching this far, you already have a good idea of how this might fit into your wave function collapse implementation.
Okay. Oh, that was the key moment. So I think, though, I think I can do it in a simpler way, in the sense that, like, I'm living in 2 dimensions. And who cares if I have a little bit of redundancy? Like, yes, if a tile is mirrored. Oh, wait. Oh, there's... All right, let me think about this. I have to use the whiteboard. I don't want to use the whiteboard because I'm going to have to erase it. Like, in other words, like, let's say there's a tile. Yeah. Right. I see. Because what if this tile has, like, there's an image with the letter A, right? If I rotate that tile, clockwise, I'm getting this, which is different than if I were to flip the tile. Well, A is symmetrical, in which case I would get this. So how many versions of this do I need to enumerate? Can I just do 4 rotations? I think I can work with patterns where I'm just rotating them and not worry about flipping them, right? Some tiles have mirror symmetry, some don't. The prototypes are explained at 933. Let me go back to that. I lost that.
Sudoku event. Instead, the opposing sockets are valid using our adjacency rules, and if they are, add the other prototype as a valid neighbor to the relevant neighbor list for this prototype. This might seem like a lot of repetition, but to create the prototype list for this admittedly small set of modules, a lot of valid neighbor are valid using 6 times, once for each direction. We'll check that the opposing sockets are valid using our adjacency rules, and if they are, add the other prototype as a valid neighbor to the relevant neighbor list for this prototype. This might seem like...
Ah, I see. This is one tile. This is very similar to what I'm thinking of. its rotation is, what rotation is it? In this case, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, right? This is, I mean, its socket list, I don't, must be. So what I'm not sure about is, what is the socket list? Yeah, that's, this is why I like what I did originally. I think I still have an idea for how to do this. I think ultimately I'm still going to build. Oh, sorry, I didn't switch the view. What I was looking at was this. This overwhelmed me. Like, remember, my videos, I'm trying to write all the code as opposed to just sort of showing a nice explanation and summary. um, so, but this is what I want to do. This is, and I still don't understand exactly how the term prototype fits in here, but essentially this is what I want. I want an object that points to a given image. Maybe specifies a rotation, and then specifies the valid list of neighbors to any given direction. Oh God, I should just get started working on this. They were doing faces as the connectors they call unique sockets. So your edges are sockets. Bitter Midnight, thank you. I think what I'm going to do, I have an idea for how to do this. And I think it'll be more interesting. The whole point of this is for me to be recording me figuring this out. So I've done enough thinking. I could be thinking about this for the next 3 hours and not get anywhere. I already feel like I ran out of time. So it's getting warm in here. So I can turn these heaters off. Let me get some more stuff set up. And I will figure out later. I will figure out later what it is I'm doing. All right. Let me open up my recording engine. Remind me later. I'm going to start recording to disk. Start recording. I can see the Discord chat. I can see what I'm recording to disk here. And I see the Twitch chat here. And I think I see everything. Let me turn off these heaters. All right, everybody. So I might have to record some interstitials later. I almost inevitably will. I'm wondering if anybody watching, just looking at this for a second. Oh yeah. Right to the left. Okay, got it. So like if I wanted to do something like this is really where I would want to load the tiles and be able to rotate or flip them if as needed. Yeah. Okay. The question, I wonder if anybody happens to have like a set of tiles like this as files. Okay. But first, I love this one, by the way. This one is so cool. And I guess the image generated is using some like blending or transparency, because I don't see any gray in any of these, but these are so lovely. This is one. Oh, man. Okay. I'm reading this. Adjacency data cannot be induced from edge coloring. Oof. Okay. Oh my goodness. So much to think about and learn and do. Okay. All right. So I don't know where this is going to cut in to the previous video. I will figure that later. By the sounds of things, you need to separate global adjacency rotation from local adjacency rotation. Pokemon bombs. I have 7 for you, okay? All right, see you later, Sable Raff. Like staff, Sable staff. This is going to be a long journey, yeah. Faces as the connectors. All right, let's just give this a go. Worst case scenario is whatever I do now doesn't make it into the video, but it will be something that I'm learning and that the 135 people who are watching, what's wrong with you people, will get something from. All right, here we go. I'm recording to disk. My audio sounds good. The whiteboard focus is hopefully fine. I should check that. I'll check it in a bit. And let's go. Yes, I'm looking for. Okay. Oh, God. I'm thinking. All right, fine. I don't know what to. Okay, all right. I don't know how to do this, but I'm just going to wing it. I've come back a few days later to revisit what you just watched. And I've determined that while, and okay, a troubled millennial, you're only going to be more troubled after watching this. All right. Hi, I'm back after a few days of thinking through the wave function collapse algorithm and the implementation that I have so far in this video that you're watching right now, even though it's hard for me to imagine it because of blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that's fine. I've come back a few days later, and I like what I did before better. It's just fine. Just cut it from there, and let's keep going. Looking at some of these demonstrations that are on the in the original wave function collapse GitHub repository. Let's take, for example, this. What is this? This is like a circuit, like a PCB, like circuit diagram, right? PCB. What does that stand for? Printed circuit board. There you go. Okay. Looking, for example, at this printed circuit board design that's been generated from these tiles over here, this is quite more. looking at this printed circuit board diagram that's generated from these tiles, if I were to try to make this with my code, I would have so many tiles and so many adjacencies, it would become rather unwieldy. Because one, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There are 14 tiles, and then a lot of those tiles could be rotated multiple times. Obviously, the blank tile doesn't need to be rotated. Okay, hold on. Thinking this through. Oh, Big Zinc says they can get the circuit tiles for me. Okay, great. All right, Big Zinc. Big Zinc! I'm counting on you, Big Zinc. I'm back a few days later, and I know you've been watching what is already like a very long video about wave function collapse, and I did get to a point where I made something, which is pretty great. I'm looking at this example of this printed circuit board, seeing that there are 14 tiles there. Some of those tiles represent 4 possible rotations. Looking at the way that I've implemented this code with an array, an element of an array for every tile with all of the possible adjacencies, I think it would be very hard for me to hard code. I think it would be incredibly difficult for me to hard code all of the possible tiles and adjacencies for a more sophisticated pattern like this. And let's go to the whiteboard. And tell me how the focus is, by the way. How's the lighting over here? Okay. So I think it's worth me taking the time to So I think it's worth me taking the time to look at my tiles as only 2 tiles, each with 4 edges. I don't know why I'm obsessively. I have a problem to think through. Light is just a bit darker on the right side. How was the focus? The focus was sharp? Okay. 14 by 14 sounds good, Big Zinc. I don't know what whatever it is what it is. Quality is not a huge concern of mine right now. So I'd like to keep going. And instead of thinking of the tiles that I started with as 5 possibilities, I'm going to start with just 2 possibilities. And rather than enumerate what's possible here, I'm just going to mark the edges. I'm just going to categorize the edges as A or B, or 0 or 1. What this means is when I'm going to place another tile next to another one, a 0 has to match with a 0, a 1 has to match with a 1, and I could automate the rotation of this tile into its other possibilities. And then enumerate all of the adjacency rules with code. And I think if I create a tile class, that keeps track of what image is it, And what are its edges? Still going in the same order, top, right, bottom, left. That this will make the code more readable and easier to figure out and work and make for more fun wave function collapsing of everything. I think my brain is collapsing into a wave function right now, but I'm going to try to do this. Okay. All right, that's right. So, okay. So let me start by making the tile class. The idea being I think there's a loud leaf blower outside. Do you guys hear that? It's not coming through on the monitor. All right. It's pretty loud, though. It's funny how I don't think you hear it, though. All right. You hear the whistle, right? Yeah, you definitely do. Okay. The leaf blower is bothering me, but I can see that it doesn't bother any of you. Okay. Okay. I had used the tiles array to load the images, so now I'm going to actually have an array called tile images. The leaf blower is so loud. And now it's coming through. I want to put the noise reduction on, but it's more that it's just like a major distraction for me. Hey, thank you, Mr. PhD. Okay, there it went away. Okay. Hold on. This is driving me crazy also. I'll also note that I added a. That's fine. No one is going to care that I add that. I don't need to add that. Okay. Store a single number to represent the sides. I feel like that's a great idea, but it's not. That might make it more. I feel like it would make it more sort of like efficient and optimal, but I feel like maybe. I mean, I could make it a string instead of an array, and I could make it a binary number, but then I've got to do a lot of converting back and forth. I think that'll make it more complicated. Okay. So now in setup, okay. So now in setup, let me actually load. Now in setup, let me, and then, I'm sorry. And then now I don't want to look, right. Now that I've done that, I only need to load the blank and up tile. The first tile can be the blank one. With those edges. The second one would be the up tile with those edges. Now, what if I allow myself to create new tiles based on previous ones? What if there were a function that returned a new tile, which is 1 rotation, 2 rotations, or 3 rotations of another tile? The leaf blower is making me crazy. Okay. So how do I rotate the image? Rotating the image, I can create a P graphics instance. Create graphics, draw the image, rotate. Sorry, I really just feel like, I mean, I know nobody else is hearing the leaf blower. I should just keep going. Okay. So the rotate function needs to do two things. Rotate the image and rotate the edges. So I make a blank canvas. So I make a blank canvas with the same width and height of the image. Set the image mode to center. Rotate by half of pi, or 90 degrees, times the number of rotations. So 1 would just be 1 rotation. Let me store the width and height in separate variables, which I think will make our lives a little bit better today. I'm going to call this variable new image because I'm getting confused between this dot image, which is that tile's image, and a new image. So now I have a new image. Technically not a P5 image. It's a P5 graphics object. I have the new image. Technically it's not a P5 image. It's just a P5 graphics object. But those two things are going to function the same way, so I think it's fine. Now I need to rotate the edges. So each new edge is the previous edge plus the number of rotations. Or minus, is it minus? So this is the new edge. It's the previous, this edge this edge was previously down here, and the index values go 0, 1, 2, 3. So the new edge is the previous edge minus 1. However, oh, I'm sorry that you didn't see the whiteboard, but I did record that. So, sorry that I didn't switch it, but I'll switch it now. However, if I'm edge 0, minus 1 isn't negative 1, it's 3. It's got to wrap around and get index 3. So a way I can do that is let's create a variable to store the number of edges. I can add that to the total. So 0 minus 1 is negative 1 plus the total number of edges of 4 would be index 3. But if I'm 2, 2 minus 1 is 1 plus the total number of edges is 4. So I'd get 5. So all I then need to do is use the modulo operator. And this should give me perfect wraparound. Always take the previous one, but if the previous one is negative, you're going to get the higher value. And it's not 1, it's the number of rotations. So now I can return a new tile with the new image and the new edges. Yeah, I could have done some just like array shifting. Certainly, yes. Tiles are ready in the Discord general chat. Thank you. So what I'd like to do here. So before I go any further, I just want to determine if this at least worked rotating these images. If I were to run this code, tile is not defined. Oh. Can't forget to add, Can't forget to add tile.js to index.html. Then oh, did I get rid of where did those go? I don't know why I got rid of those by accident. I deleted these for some reason. Okay, so where is it drawing the image? The only difference now is the tiles themselves are, sorry, the only difference now is the image is not, the difference now is the image is a property of that tile object. Something is wrong. My rotation is not working. What did I do wrong here? Oh, I need to use translate. Oh, I've made a mistake here. So I've made a sort of classic error in P5 here where I didn't think about the origin around which I was rotating. So I've rotated the image off the canvas that I'm drawing it to. I need to say new image, translate to the center, then do the rotation, then draw the image at 0, 0. Great. So now this is exactly what I had before, only my tiles are not rotated perfectly. Look at that. They're slightly off. Why is that? I kind of like it. It gives it almost more of a hand-drawn quality. What if I just like add a little bit? Well, I added too much. This is so weird. I can't get them to match. It's really annoying. Why? Why won't it rotate? Is it something wrong with my tiles? Did I not draw them properly? Is the rotation actually correct? But they're not. It's not perfectly centered. Well, I'm not. Maybe I won't worry about that. The lines are not perfectly centered in the image. Okay. That's very nice to hear, Aruitis. Mark Boots, thank you for subscribing. It's all very nice of you. The image, I recall you made the center and that you made the image 50 by 50. Yeah, you should have made them 51 by 51. Right. If they're even with the rotate fun. All right, you know what? I'm not going to worry about that. So my images weren't perfectly symmetrical, which is more a problem of the way I created them, and it's not. So if you zoom in, you'll see that the tiling is a little bit askew. That's really just because when I made the images, I didn't make them perfectly symmetrical, so the rotation isn't perfect. But I kind of actually like the way that it looks with it slightly askew, but this is not relevant to the algorithm. It's just a matter of designing the images. It's just a matter of designing the tile images, and ultimately I'm going to use the tile images from here to see if I can create a more sophisticated pattern. Okay. Okay, sorry, I'm looking at my phone, which I shouldn't be. Okay. So the next step is, can I generate these rules based on the next step is then for me to generate these rules based on the edges defined in the tile objects themselves. And also, rather than have this big rules array here, couldn't I, in the tile object, have a list of what can go to the right to flipping x and y would be better. Yeah, yeah. So that's I'm gonna address that. So the next step for me then is to, instead of having this long big array of all of the rules, could I put the rules themselves? Oh wait. So the next step is for me, instead of having this long list, this big array of all of the rules, could I generate the rules by analyzing the tiles and the edges, the numeric indices of those edges themselves? Is this what I'm saying? Yes. Last time, people. So now, instead of having this big array that's just a mess of all of these rules, could I procedurally generate the rules by analyzing the tiles that I've loaded and their corresponding edge indices, by analyzing the tile objects that I'm creating? And as long as I'm doing that, why not put in the tile object itself lists of valid neighbors? I'm just thinking about this. This is terrifying, but I'm just going to delete all of this from the code. Then right here in setup, I'm also not going to bother to think. I'm also not going to trying to think of what I'm saying here. Hold on, I'm thinking here. Is this recording correctly? Hold on. I'm just going to check my record to disk for a second. There we go. Yes, it is. Okay. All right, hold on. I think I can also lose these names of the tiles because ultimately the options as I begin are just the total number of the options when I begin is just a list of all of the index values in the tiles array. There's got to be like, isn't there some way that I can say like new array tiles dot length dot fill? Can I not write a function? I mean, oh, I could use map. Got it, map. Is that right? Stare at this for a minute. Zero is not a function. How does the map function work? Array from. Oh, remove the first argument. Oh, right. It's empty. Oh, new array. I don't know why I'm doing this. IDX is the. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the value. Ah, okay. Got it. No, it's still empty? Hold on. First of all, let's make the dimensions 2 again. I hate higher order functions. Oh, I need to fill it first. I have to like fill it with 0 and then map it. This is crazy. No. Okay, so that worked. Back function. Any index Oh, there we go. I don't know what I had wrong before. Yeah, okay, it's fine. Everything about this line of code is what I intend not to put in my videos, but I do have... So this is actually the way to use higher order functions to create an array with all of its, with a certain... So this line of code, this line of code, which is driving me completely... this line of code, which I find right now to be terribly upsetting, is a way of using higher order functions to fill an array with zeros and then change all those values to be the same value as their index. I can't live with this, so I'm just going to make a variable called all options, and then manually fill it with all the index values, and then put it in the grid spot. Okay. Array from length 5. Okay, that's another way of doing it. And now it is important that I initialize a new array. That is correct for every spot. Okay. Okay. I also, okay. So I have my tile objects. I have every cell on the grid. Oh, I should probably make this. You know what? I'm doing stuff object oriented. What am I doing here? Hold on. Back up. Cut all that. Okay, we're going back to here. Sorry, Mathieu. Since I'm doing this as, okay. Looking down here, I can also, I don't remember how this is connect, but it'll connect. Now that I have tile objects, looking down here, it would make sense for me to have a cell object. I mean, I have cell objects. They've got a list of options as well as whether they're collapsed or not. But I should make a class so that I could define, I should make a class with a constructor to generate these. These names are no longer relevant. The list of options can just be the index values to the tiles array. So what I want to pass in is the total amount of tiles there actually are. Then I can fill the array with, if there are 5 options, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, that could be done with some higher order functions like fill and map and from, and have a ball doing that. I actually just spent a little while doing it myself, and it was very confusing, and I didn't want to include it in this video, but here's what it looks like. I don't know if we'll do that. Okay. Okay. Now, where am I? Okay, so I loaded and created the tiles. I built a cell for every spot on the grid. And now I need to generate the adjacency rules based on the edges. Adjacency rules based on edges. So how do I do that? For every tile, I'm going to just write a function called analyze and give it all the tiles, all the other tiles. So the tile object's going to have to figure this out. Okay. So up is index 0 of the edges. Oh, wait, okay, hold on. Let's call this the connection is edges index 0. Now, if we look at all the tiles, I mean, we should check if a tile can connect to itself. that is a valid thing to check. So I'm looking at all the tiles regardless. So if my connection up is a certain value, I need to find all of the tiles that have that same connection pointing down, which is index 2. So if the edges, and I'm sure there's a way that I could not do these as 4 different loops, but I'm going to do it that way right now. And maybe this secondary variable is kind of unnecessary. And this is tiles index I. And this might actually be easier to read. The order of the tiles doesn't actually matter. So let tile of tiles. So if that particular tile's down edge matches the tile that I am, my edge, which is this dot edges, then it's a valid connection. Yeah, would the use of a map make sense, like up 0, right? I kind of want to do that with strings. Yeah, I wanted to do that, but I've kind of lost track of like where that would really help me. So I'm just going to do this now. I'm going to keep going. So now I just need to repeat this for right, down, and left. Oh, and I don't need to do a separate loop. They can all be in here. So right is 3 is equal to 1. Down is 0 is equal to 2. And left is checking if this tile's edge at 3 is connected to the tile that it's looking at, its edge at 1. People are chatting about, okay, so. Now, again, I've made some improvements, I think, over what my first pass at doing this algorithm, but there's a lot more improvements that I could probably make at this as well. All right, that's actually not, I don't need to include that. Cut that. This is what I want to say. Now, again, there's a lot of there's probably a lot of redundancy here, and am I rotating the tiles or flipping them? And there's all sorts of different ways you could approach this, but this is just the way that I'm getting started here, trying to recreate what I did originally in a bit more of a generic, scalable fashion. Okay. All right. I think this order makes more sense. We're loading the images, rotating the ones we need to rotate, and defining what all the edges are. Then we're analyzing all the tiles against each other to see which tiles can go next to each other. Then we make a grid full of empty cells. Each cell could be any given tile to start. Wouldn't making an n by n matrix? Yes. But I'm trying to do this in a sort of like human readable way. But that is a good point. I wonder if I should address that. Okay. So drawing doesn't change. I'm still just, if a cell is collapsed, I'm drawing the particular image associated with that cell, or if it's not, I'm drawing a blank rectangle. The thing that needs to change is looking for the valid options based on what are in the tile objects. I have to think about this. Okay. This, however, is the part that needs to change. Before I was looking at my rules array. Now I need to look at the adjacencies that are defined in the tile objects themselves. So up is still right, looking at the cell up. Valid options starts as a blank array. Then I need to look at what are the possible options in up, and then get the valid ones now are, oh God, not rules, but tiles dot down, right? This is easier because I think this is actually a little bit more readable now, even though it's kind of wonky. Give me anything that I could place where I am has to be something that can be below all of the things that could be next to the tile above me. Okay, you guys are talking about how to do it with matrices in there. That's not for me. Okay. Is that the only thing I'm changing? Look at the tiles and look to the left. Then look to the tiles. Up. Tiles. To the right. There's no way it's as simple as that. Oops. Okay, cell is not defined. Okay, well, that's an error I can fix. Include the cell file. Blank is not defined. Where did I have blank? Let me, by the way, change the dimensions to just 4 by 4 while we're sort of figuring this out. Oh, so the options are, when I'm assuming it could be anything, let me just hard code. Oh, let's use the fancy higher order array functionality thing here. I need an array with the number of spots in it as the number of tiles there are. I need to fill it with something to start, so I'll just give 0. And then I can use the map function to map every value to its index. So that's its current value, which is 0. Its index is I. So this, if I've done my higher order array functions correctly, it's an array that has, with 5 tiles, has the values 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 in them. Whoops. Okay. Cannot read properties of undefined reading up. Well, this is a good start. 137. Tiles, option, up. What is going on here? Let's see, what option are we looking at? 4, undefined. Why did we get an undefined? It was working for a while. There's no tile below on the edge, so tile doesn't exist. I don't know what you're referring to, Simon, but I appreciate it. Okay. All right, hold on. What? Look down. Huh? All right, I have to make this 2 by 2. Let's make this 2 by 2. Let me put no loop in. It's gonna, no, it doesn't break then. Never mind. I'm looking at the chat. Someone's seeing what, I'm gonna have to debug this. Okay. Let me make sure this is generating things correctly. Okay, so that's generating things correctly. Then, okay. Let me figure out what which tile am I on when this happens? 0, 0, 1, 0. So we have an error here. At 1, 0. And hold on, let me also make the canvas smaller so I can have more room here. So we are, where was I? 137. So this is what I'm on, and this is the cell below me. So I'm at, wait, hold on. 0, 0. Oh, it's kind of, the error's happening in different places. That's fine. Oh, why is there an array? Something happened. Why is this one empty? So let's look at, the full grid. Oh, wait. Oh, because I collapsed it. It should have one option. No, this looks right. But then which one failed? 0, 0, 1, 0. Wait, 0, 0, 1, 0? Did I mess up my I's and J's somewhere? No. Right, should be going 0, 0, 1, 0. Why didn't J go down? Why didn't it go to then 0, 1? Hold on. Do I have other console logs here? Okay, hold on. Oh, I got to the second loop. That's why. 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1. Okay. First of all, let me do random seed so that I get the same result each time. Okay. Cannot read properties reading right of where? And then, okay, so I'm looking. So I'm looking. By the way, let me just take a moment to stop and start. Every once in a while, it's good for me to stop the recording engine and restart it, because the way I record the files, if it were to crash, it's not recoverable. I mean, I'm living on the edge here. Okay. Oh, 149. So these errors happening at different times based on what's going on. So 149. Okay. So here we are on 149 for option of left options. So let me look at console log grid. Okay. Oh, I know what's going wrong. Hi, everybody. I've been debugging this for a little bit. And part of my debugging, I said console log the grid. And I'm looking at the grid, and the first time I get 4 cells, because I made it 2 by 2, only one option left, because that one's collapsed, 5, 5, 5. And then suddenly, look at this, cell, and then those are not cell objects. The reason why they're not cell objects is because I forgot, and I can't believe I just went, let me do that. And then cell, rackety, brackety, brackety, brookety, brackety. Cell, then brackety, brookety, brackety, brackety. Ooh. Those aren't cell objects because I did something really pretty terrible earlier. At the end, when I'm instead of adjusting that current cell, at the end, instead of creating the new cell object for the next generation, I'm just making an object literal, which is not right. So I need to say new cell. And the options shouldn't, this is when a new cell is made. How about I could give it options. Oh, but so instead of a num. I'm trying to think of an elegant way to design the constructor now. So if it's an array, just set it. Otherwise, it's a number. How do I say like, Aha. So I just did a little testing in the console here that I can determine if a variable is an array by saying instance of array, and I'll get true. So I think what I can do here in this cell class is I can say if num is an instance of an array, then this dot options equals that array. It's no longer num, it's the array. I mean, I don't know what to call that variable. I'll still call it a num. Otherwise, I'm filling an array with all of the options according to some total. So let's just call this value to be a little bit more generic. So these are the two different ways I can create a cell object. And if I go back to sketch.js, I should be able to say, make a new cell out of those options. Oh, that's better. I see 4 cells and 4 cells. I still got this error, though. Why do they have zeros in them? Brackety brackety is way better than I agree. Okay, wait. 2 are collapsed. Something is going very haywire here. I'm going to have to do some more debugging. Oh, please hold. Okay. We have another major error here. Okay. Right? If tile 0 is collapsed, I should see one option there. Tile 1 should have 3 possibilities. Tile 2 should have 2 and not be collapsed. And tile 3 should have all 5 possibilities still. The chat is not helping me. It's often discussing something else completely. I can't believe it's almost 3 o'clock, but I feel like I'm really close. All right, I'm going to have to just sort of, I think there's something inherently wrong so let's just only check, why is this a 0? Let's check, why is that a 0? That should be a 3. So let me check what's going on. Let me debug the checking to the right. Oh no, but let me debug if I'm all right. So cell number 1, which is the one directly to the right of the top left, should have 3 options left, and it has 0. So the bug is there, and cell number 1 is when I is 1 and j is 0. Oh, no, I have an index right there. So I have an index. So I can debug some things if index is 1. Nothing's above it, so it's not going to be looking. Nothing's to the right of it, so it's not going to be looking. Let's check looking to the left. So if index equals 1, let me look at the tile to the left. The tile to the left is collapsed, and it only has, and it is tile index 1. Okay. So its valid options should be all of the things that can go to the right of tile index 1. Oh. Three possible tiles. That makes sense. 3 possible tiles can go to the right of tile index 1. Now, it did happen to look down before it looked to the left. So let's also look at down. And the valid options. So this makes sense. There'd be a lot of valid options. A lot of them are redundant, but that's fine. Oh, I think I know what the problem is. I think my check valid function is wrong. Oh, the check valid function. I never bothered to look at the check valid function to see if it was doing anything that made sense. Because this is not storing the index values. The valid things are the tiles. Those should be numbers. What? Those shouldn't be valid tiles. They should be numbers. It's not, so people, some of you in the chat are talking, is it off by 1 or is it trying? I already have all this edge detection stuff in there. And so I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is, and I'm just noticing it now, is that the check is expecting to have index values. Wait, why? So when I did my analyze function, it pushed the tile. It pushed the tile. It shouldn't push the tile. It needs to push the index value of the tile. So I do need the index. Oh boy. Let me go back here. I don't know. Mathieu, I am so sorry. This is going to be impossible to put together in anything logical. I mean, we could also just sort of cut all this out. But this is definitely the issue. Where? Okay, no, sketch. I think we could go back to, like, if I may be so bold, we could go back to pretending This is where I was looking. Aha! The error is not a logic one. It is an apples checking against oranges problem. The valid tiles are tile objects. But my function that I wrote days ago at this point now in the check valid is checking index values against each other. If you remember, so if I go back to this analyze function, I shouldn't be putting the actual tile objects in the arrays that are valid up, right, down, and left. I should be putting the index of that tile. So I do need to have this a for loop with I in it. Because the index of the tile is what is indicating what's valid. It really wants to autocomplete with something fancier, but I is all I need. Ta-da! We did it, people! Okay, let's get rid of some of the debugging. Let me go back and make it 20 by 20. Wave function collapse. Exactly what I had before, but now, and again, it's not always going to find a solution, and I got to talk about how to deal with that. But now I don't have to create a massive map of all of the tiles and their adjacencies. All I need to do is load tile images and some numeric indicator for what's a valid connection of an edge. Then I can rotate tiles and infer all of the adjacencies. This means, I believe, I can get this printed circuit board algorithm go. This means, I believe, I can get this PCB generator going. All right. Thank you. All right, now I need, now I need to, hi Shrewd Food. Thank you everybody who's coming over from YouTube. Now I need to go to Discord and find these tiles. So I'm opening up Discord here. Let me just, I assume nobody in the, okay. So I'm going to general. I just want to make sure there's no, nothing in. Where am I looking? Oh, I'm in supporter. Where do I go? In the cafe, general. Oh, circuit tiles. Okay. So, okay, so let me bring this over here. Thank you to those who are watching live, thank you to those who are watching live who sent me fixed tiles and the circuit board tiles. I'm going to download those now and see if I can bring them into my sketch. Now, I know my audience is a friendly audience who would never send me something dangerous, so I don't have to worry about this warning. circuit tiles 56. I'm just going to call this circuit. How do I do the thing as icons, maybe? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to put that over here. Okay. So I have the circuit tiles and I have my code. I think I'm going to need to kind of draw my own version of these tiles on the whiteboard to enumerate all of the edges correctly. So I'm going to need help with this, people. I'm going to go to this wide shot so I can still see, because I can zoom in here, and then I can kind of see the tiles from over here. So let me do some erasing. Okay, I'm going to attempt, actually, let me just get my cloth to make sure the whiteboard is actually dry. I cannot believe how elaborate this project is. I hope that someday somebody makes something with wave function collapse that is just so beautiful and wonderful. Actually, I don't care. I just hope that you're enjoying this right now. It's fine. I'm going to attempt to draw my own versions of the I'm going to attempt to sort of crudely draw my own versions of the tiles so we can analyze them and figure out what the edge indices are. So there's a blank gray and a blank green. Let's start with those. So there's a blank gray and a blank green tile. Let's start with those. That's tile 0. This is 0.png. These numbers, by the way, aren't really relevant, although they will be because they'll be the indices into the tiles array, I guess. And 1.png. So the blank one will have zeros as its connectors, edges, and the blank green, I'm just going to say this is blank, and this one is green. It'll have ones. Okay, what is 2.png? I can't see it. I have to like walk over. That is like a weird circle with a little green connecty thingy. Okay. But is it black or green around the edge? It's green around the edges. Okay. Kind of looks like this. All this area is green. So that's a 1, a 1, a 1, and now we need another thing. This is a 2. Oh, there's no 3. All right, I'm going to rename these. Wait. Why did that not rename? Something just crashed here. Oh, the name 3 is already taken. Oh, where is it? Oh, I'm not seeing them. Ugh. Here we go. Sorry, everybody. I wasn't actually showing you all the tiles before. Now there they are. You know what, though? Mathieu can do some magic, so we might not need to do that correction. Okay. So 3 is just this. Off screen. Okay. I'm just looking at the chat if I've like got anything like majorly wrong, but okay. So now tile 3, okay, is gray connection. Is a gray. Oh, this is so confusing. Okay, tile 3. And this is like gray and green. So green is 1. And this is something new. It doesn't match this because this is green. 3, 3, 1. Okay, I think Mathieu you can probably speed through all this. I'm just gonna. There's something like slightly less complicated than this one. There are really 14 of them. Fourteen. Okay. 4. I wish I could see them where I'm standing on the whiteboard, but I can't. What number I'm on? 4 is. I don't understand what 5 is going to connect to. 4 is like connects to zeros and connects to 2. Okay. So 4 has a blank thing here and this kind of connection. And oh, it connects to that. So that's a new kind of top. This is a new kind of. So this is a 4, a 4. This is a 2, and this is a 0. That's tile 4. Uh, 5. This is confusing, but 5 this connects to 4. And is it green or black? That's what I can't see. It's green. So this green, this is a 1, a 1, and this. Well, it doesn't connect to anything right now unless, in terms of its rotation. I mean, if it was. Oh, could it connect to 0? Or 4? It could, if 4 is rotated a certain way. But is there another one? Oh, these are different because this is on a different side. This is 4 and this is 5, right? Because ultimately, if this is turned upside down, this is over here. So this one connects to 5, actually. But it wouldn't connect to 4 if we turn 4 around. So maybe there's another one. But if you turn this one around, ooh, I don't know. I'm a little lost with what to do with this. Somebody in the chat will hopefully tell me, because my brain hurts. Like same thing over here. Oh, does this actually connect to, like if I took 4 and rotated it, it would connect to here. Ugh. Oh my God, help. Oh, but I shouldn't rotate this. Oh, but what if I didn't rotate it all those ways? I don't know what to do with that. I'm lost. Help. I'm just gonna keep going. 6 is just like 3, but green on the ends, light green and green, which we haven't seen yet. So 6 is green and light green. So this connects to 1 and a 1. We haven't seen anything yet for this. So I'm going to give these, I don't know if I need something new here. Well, I'll figure that out later. I'll give these, this is new. So I don't have a 6. Four only connects to 5. 4 doesn't connect to 4. Uh, 5 is 4, 1, 1, 5. Wait. I've lost where the chat is. Okay, let me come back to that one. Oh, it's a new concept I need to code. I don't like that. Multiple 4.png in a row, they need to be able to connect. All right, hold on. Let me just keep going here. 7 I can figure out. 7 is, just like 7 is just like 6, but a big gray stripe in the middle. Oh, wait. 7 is just like 6, but it has a big gray stripe in the middle. So these are 6, 6, and then the gray stripe is the same as this, is 3, 3. Okay, so 7 I've got. 8. Oh, 8 is this very weird thing that I don't know how to, but all it is gray and green. It's a stripe in the middle with gray and light green. I can think of it that way. So this is gray and this is light green. So light green is a 6, gray is a 3, and these are blank green, so these are 1 and 1. That's 8. So right now, this is my weird issue here. Maybe I should be picking a different example that doesn't have this issue, but I think I might be able to, there might be a way for me to work it out anyway. So now I'm on to 9. Oh my God, what have I got myself into? 9 is, it's so familiar to me, 9. Light green. So this is light green is 6, 6, 6, 6, and this is regular green, which is 1. Okay, 10. Oh, diagonal. Oh my God, what am I supposed to do with this? What does that connect to? Oh, I have no idea. Does it connect to, is it just the same, but is it a 6 on all 4 sides? I think it is. So this is 10, and these are light green. So I think these are 6s. And I do want to rotate it, I think, yeah. And then 11 is this, but just light green. Is that just a light green stripe? Yeah, 11 is like that. So we've got a 6 and a 6 and then a 1 and a 1. And then 12. Wait. Oh, there's only 12? Or 13, I guess. Why did I think there were 14? I don't see a... Yeah, I think I had extra, right? Well, that's... Okay. Lucky for me, I don't need these last two. And 12. Six, 6, 1, 1. Oh, I'm such a dodo because this is light green right here, 2. So let me back up and make all those a 2. Blanks are zeros. Dark green is a 1. Dark green, light green is a 2. Gray, a little gray connector is a 3. Dark green, light green, gray. Gray, light green, green, dark green, dark green. Light green, dark green. Okay. So what do I do about these? 4 and 5. I need to try to figure that out. Let me look at the chat. Rotate 4 90 degrees. Call it 13. Okay, wait a second. Rename 6 to 2. Okay, I got that. Okay. So the sides that I'm not sure about are this one, this one, this one, and this one. I think there's a... Okay. So there's actually only 3, 0, 1, 2, 4 kinds of connections. What if I just got rid of these two? What if I just got rid of these two for right now? I mean, shouldn't I try that just to see if, I mean, that'll give me something, right? So this obviously connects to a 2. This obviously connects to a 0. And these two would connect at any, if this is rotated this way, but if this is, and this is rotated, yeah. So couldn't we just say, if this is flipped? So what I need to do, I haven't coded a flip. So I need to flip this one, right? If I did this, and we said this is a 4, and this is a 5. I mean, what is this, though? That side, like what goes, oh. Oh, no. But this rotated would connect to, oh, no. Yeah, this connects to a 4. That connects to 4. This connects to 5. Isn't that enough? Yeah. Yeah, that should work. I don't need to do this. I think that's right. Let me see if the chat agrees with me. Oh, but they don't connect to themselves. Yeah, they do connect to themselves. Because it has to be rotated all the way around. It only connects to itself as it's flipped, not rotated. So I just need to code a flip instead of a rotate. Telemaco is saying, why not read the color of the top left, center, top right of each side? Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't. Simon is right. But it would if I flipped it. Rotate 4. Like this one does not connect to itself if I rotate it, but it does if I flip it. Shoot. Can I just delete those and that's like another thing to work out? Is it just a matter of adding a flip function? But how do I tell it not to connect to itself is the problem. I could just not rotate it. Well, I could rotate it once, rotate it 3 times. I could rotate it once, flip it, and rotate it once. So I just think I need a function to flip these. Because I won't rotate it, so it won't have to connect to itself. Oh. But this can stack. So it should be that. So that's actually what it is. If I'm not doing any rotations. What connects to here? They're not symmetrical. Everything else is symmetrical. In its own way. Shoot. By the way, yeah, so what Mr. Facey is saying makes a lot of sense. I just check the time here. 3:30. The solution, how it's handled, the original wave function collapse is to encode the flip into the edge index. Oh, have 4S and 4F for 4 straight and 4 flipped. Okay. So I'm gonna see how I do with just not using those tiles for a moment. Okay? So I've worked all this out, and there's only actually a few different kinds of sides. There's a blank side 0, a full green side 1, a light gray connector, which is 2, a light green connector, which is 2, a light gray connector, which is 3. That's what all of these are, except for 4.png and 5.png, which are not actually symmetrical. These are not symmetrical, meaning if I flip them, I have a different tile, which is different than how I'm rotating things. So I think I need a whole other mechanism for tracking how these connect. So for right now, in this process of working this through, I'm going to do this without using these tiles. I have to go, by the way. So let's see. Let's see how far I get without these tiles. So I have 13 tiles. Let me go back to here. So I have 13 tiles, or okay. So I have 13 tiles. Ordinarily, I would just write a loop now to load them into the array based on the number of the file. But since I want to skip 2, I'm going to do it manually. Okay, so you can see I'm loading them into an array of 11 tile images, skipping 4 and 5. Unfortunately, I saw the chat. Well, I should make sure I'm actually using the different tile images as well. Wait, hold on. Now I put in the connections. Zeros, all ones, 1, 2, 1, 1. 1, 3, 1, 3. Skipping 4 and 5. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. I really want to try this without rotating any of them and see what happens. This is never going to fly. Okay, what did I get wrong? The images are in a directory called circuit. Oh, I've never seen anything so beautiful in my life. That's amazing. Oh my God, this is amazing. Oh, I love it so much. Oh, I'm so happy. Look at that. Oh, woo. Wow. Okay, that's promising. So now I just need to do some rotations. Now, looking at these images, they don't all need to be rotated 4 times. But I might as well, because then I don't have to think about it. So let index equals 11. I'm going to skip, obviously, 0 and 1. I'm going to go through all of the tiles 1 through 10. Oh, I shouldn't be in preload. What am I doing? Here. I'm going to go from 2 all the way to 10. And I'm going to say tiles.push tiles index I rotate 1. One, two, three, so less than 4. So that should go skipping the first 2 tiles, which don't need to be rotated. Now there's a lot of extra rotations I don't think I need, but starting with tile 2, going all the way down to tile 10, rotating them once, twice, and thrice. Oh, I don't need this index because I can just push them into the array. Okay. Wow. This is wild. I guess the blank tile never shows up because the blank tile is actually tile 0. It only can connect to tile 4. So I could actually add tile 4. I just want to skip. Oh, no. Yeah, no. Because then nothing can connect to it below. Oh, what if I add tile 4? Oh, I have an idea. Okay. So I'm so close. I think I could get image 4 and image 5 in there. And I'm going to kind of do it in a hacky way. If it ever picks tile 0, it's going to fail. Yeah. Yeah, everybody's giving me great advice in the chat. I'm all really good, but I'm going my own way here. Let me just check my messages. Okay. Looking at tile 4. Tile 4, we know this side is a 0 and this side is a 2. That we can feel confident about. With tile 5, oh, but the problem is it doesn't connect to itself. Well, it does, as long as I don't rotate it. All right, okay. So if I make this side a 4 and this side a 4, what if I didn't bother with this tile? Would that get me what I need? I think so. Let's try adding in this tile 4.png now. So okay. So I've added in, oops, this needs to be a 5. I've added in tile 4. .png. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ah! That's fine. And then tile 4 is 4, 2, 4, 0. Let's see how this does. Did we just get unlucky? Oh, wait, I forgot that I have a random seed in there. I guess I could fill one of the tiles. What did I miss? Line 15. It'll never break from 4. Oh, am I giving it the right tile image? Yeah. Oh, wait a sec. I mean, that shouldn't matter. I just wasn't rotating the last one, but there's no entry point for a 4 or 0 unless I pick it randomly. Good point. No, the 2. The 4 should enter because its right side should make it able to, that 2 should allow it to be picked. It's just not getting picked. There we go. What just happened? That was crazy. If it picked it once, it's all it did. I don't understand. I see what you're saying, that 5 is such a good entry point for... Add 4 to connect with 6. It all depends on... There we go. Yeah. Oh, there we go. There we go. It's just like it has very few options based on... Because I don't have that corner option. Okay. So now... But it can't... It could do it vertically, I think, as well. Okay, now I need to add 5. Is there a simple way I can do this? Right, so this could be for S. This is what it would be, and this could be for N, right? They can connect to each other, but S can connect with S. S can connect with N, but S cannot connect with itself. And this could be for N, right? Because that could stop the bottom. And this one could be... Is this for S? Because if you took this and turned it on its right, it could go with 4N. Yeah. So why can't I just make those 2 different numbers? Oh no. For S can't connect with itself. They can connect not with themselves, but with their... Yeah. It's funny that I didn't see that error happen. Right? That's what I need to do. 4S cannot connect with 4S. It can connect with 4N. That's so weird. So how would I don't have any ability to do that in my code right now. Exercise for the viewer. What happens if I just make 5 4 1 1 4? Let's try that. See what happens. Oops, no. Yeah, I need to change it if it's rotated, but I don't have a mechanism for doing that. So let me just try it. Or I could make those individual separate tile images and kind of renumber them myself. Let me just do this for a second, just to see. Oh God, what have I done? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right, so now I need 13. And then well, it's getting stuck a lot more. Huh. I mean, this isn't the worst. It's doing some slightly illogical stuff. Like, that's not right. It needs to put the corner tile in. And that's not right. Yeah, it's like... Wait, I don't even think I did it right. 4 is 4240. 5 is 4114. Okay, I did put it in what I said I would do. Oh. No, I did that. Okay, I is less than 13. I don't know what link deleted to link deleted is. Sorry, the Twitch is like editing your chat comments. When you copy the line, the PNG file. Oh, did I not fix the PNG file name? Oh, there we go. Okay, that's a major thing. Okay. So we can see this is a big flaw. Because I can't see where the grid is, but like it got it right by accident here, but there's plenty of places where it's going to do it wrong. I wonder if I should have just picked a simpler implementation that didn't need this, but it does feel like it's worth it to solve. Gara's blog says I put my link on Discord. I don't know what that is. Oh, Mathieu's here. Oh, I'm so sorry, Mathieu. It does look kind of awesome, but I have created such a mess of this. All right. The issue is, the reason why I'm avoiding doing, is I'm doing everything based on an index, not like a term, like a string. If I was using a string, then I could fix this. But isn't there a way? Here, this is what I'm thinking. Right? Isn't there a way? Let me go to the wide shot here. Isn't there a way for me to keep this as 4, 0, 4, 2, 4, and then, or maybe, what if I just make these a 4 and a 5? No. A 4 and a 4. And then here's my idea. then manually make a new tile 5, 5, 2, 0. So I'm going to manually make a new tile. That is, it flipped, giving it a different index value. And then this one is 4, 1, 5. Wouldn't that do it? Four connects to 4. This would do it, right? That's all I need to do. I think that'll work. So the correct way, as defined by the proper way to do this, as outlined in the original implementation of wave function collapse, would be to call this 4S and 4F based on symmetry or flipped. I'm confused. But I don't want to implement that right now. My whole code is set up on numbers matching numbers. So I think that I'll just create an extra image manually, flip it, and give it a separate number 5. Simon's telling me I need to implement the 90-degree rotations. I don't think so. Because I'll be able to rotate it. I'm going to try it. I'm pretty sure this is right. Flip horizontal. Wait, let me make a copy. Duplicate. I'm going to call this. Wait. Flip horizontal. Save as 4F for flipped. So now I have 4F flipped. I'm going to just make that one more tile. For F for flipped. So tile 13 is 5, 0, 5, 2. And tile index 5 is 4, 1, 1, 5. Oh, God, help me. Oh. So there's a problem here. These don't match. Oh, yeah, because I'm still allowing 5 to match with itself. Yeah. Line 44. Hold on. Maybe I messed up. Oh. won't it ever like close one of those? Do I need to adjust probabilities? Like I want to see one in the middle. All right, let me make it a much higher resolution. I made the most inefficient implementation of this. Did I miss something? Line 44 still? No, I got it now. That's an old message, right? When are the link deleted? No need to flip tiles. Link deleted is 4250. And link deleted is 5114. Oh. I don't know what that message is. Oh, 4.png. Okay. Twitch thinks it's a link. You also need a version of 5, which goes 5114. Thank you. All right. I don't think that works. Extra tile is higher probability. I know. I think it would work if I just made 5 a higher probability, but Telemaco says, okay, let's try. Okay, so first of all, okay, so all right, let's try. Let's get rid of tile 13. This can also just be tiles.length. And then do I need to do anything else? I think I already tried this, but 4250 and then 5114. Uh-oh. What did I just do? Oh, no. I can't do tiles.length. Infinite loop. Yeah, okay. Can't do tiles.length. Okay. All right, everybody. Let's calm down, browser. Yeah, this doesn't work because it allows this. Yeah. I have to stop the corner from connecting to itself. That's why. That's why I needed. Yeah, I think it doesn't even work my way. I'm surprised that it did. Whoops. What did I just change that I didn't realize I changed? 4240 4115 5052. Well, everything is going crazy now. What did I had something that was like kind of working. Yeah, it's just a matter of the probabilities. Yeah, I have to do it the correct way. Because 5 can't be allowed to connect to itself. If you check Discord, there's a solution there. I'm going to need more information than that, but I'm happy to check. Like where in Discord? Okay. Oh. Yeah, I have to do the extra logic. Okay, you know what? I gotta stop this today. I'm gonna, I'm real like so. I'm gonna have to. I think I can add this, and then I've got to implement. I've got to like come back fresh, and implement the rest of it. Like I need to do the 4S 4F thing. Like that's the way it does it. If I didn't have much time, I just hard coded so that 4 can only connect to 5 and 5 can only connect to 4. But I want 4 to be able to stack on itself. So I think this is just becoming a huge convoluted project that I'm eventually going to get into one video. So I've got a lot more material. I'm stopping. Um, I'm stopping. I'm going to think this through. I don't know how much Mathieu will be able to continue to edit, but we got more stuff for him to like put with the previous stuff. And I'm going to push this. I almost want to like put it back to. I think I should put it back to not having tiles 4 and 5, but I'm just going to leave it what it is because I don't have time right now. I've been doing this for way too long. Oh, well, let me actually put this in a separate branch. So if anybody wants to look at it, it's in this repo, but it's in a pull request now. Oh, there's another pull request there. Oh, some more patterns. I'll have to look at these. Okay. Later. Okay. So every other side is symmetrical and connected to itself, but 4 and 5 are not symmetrical. It's the asymmetrical sides that don't connect to themselves. So right, so by saying for S, by making a side, I see. So I'm going to come back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow to finish this in a different outfit. This is like happening in many parts. I'm shutting this down. Thank you, everybody. I can't believe I can't believe that I did this for so long again. Like trying to tell myself not to allow myself to stream for more than 2 hours because it just goes off the rails. But I'm determined to figure this project out and help the world make beautiful wave function collapse projects. So the best way to communicate with me about this project right now would probably be through a GitHub issue. The Discord is great. Like, please join the Discord. Tweet at me at Schiffman if you want it. That would actually also be great if you're making stuff and want to share it, or at the Coding Train. But I think right now, if you have ideas for me, don't pull request stuff because I want this code. I want to like keep working through the code. So you can make a branch if you want and file an issue and point to the branch, but I'm probably not going to accept pull requests to this because I want to continue from where I left off. But explanations and thoughts and ideas in the issues would be welcome and happily accepted. Okay? Thank you, Mark Booth. Thank you, Gara's blog. So those comments like Gara's blog, this thing that you're telling me to remember, if you have a GitHub account and wouldn't mind just filing it as an issue, that'll give me like a to-do list of things to do tomorrow. I'm definitely going to be doing a Sudoku solver soon because, I mean, now that I've worked through all of this, I mean, I gotta reap the rewards of it. Yeah. So Simon, I might be interested in your sort of just like hard coding a fix, like as like an interim solution. But again, I have to stop now. Goodbye, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully in the morning, I'm going to be back and doing this, but I'm not sure yet. So it might not even be tomorrow. You got to join the Discord. I will always do it at notifications there. You got to join the Discord and sign up for the notifications role. Tweet at me at Schiffman or write to Daniel at the Coding Train if you want to do that and you can't figure it out. Okay. But hopefully people in the Discord will help you figure that out. Okay. Tag at Station Manager in the Discord. You just got to log into the Discord, emoji react to the code of conduct. There's a bot command to get the notifications, all that stuff. All right. Goodbye, everybody. I'll see you next time. Wait, are we supposed to raid? I forgot about raiding. Oh my god, this is so loud. Let's see if there's any raid we can do. For those of you who still might be here. I'm going to my creator dashboard. Raid. No channels I follow are live. So maybe not. It was a nice idea. All right, thanks to everybody who supported me today. I'm kind of sorry that I wasn't really paying attention to all those things. But nobody's streaming, so I'm shutting this down, like I said before. Okay.